Hey everyone, this is Bishop's Miscellany MK2 from Shockmont Modular. It's a dual CV and gate sequencer that's built with a unique approach and feature set. It's built around three different concepts, which are recording, generating or regenerating, and processing or altering the sequence that you're working with. So what that means is you can send it CV and sequence data from a sequencer or a keyboard or really any module. And then you can use it to alter that sequence by generating new parts or apply things like glide or ratchets. Or you could just have it generate an entirely unique sequence using one of its many different algorithms. You can take those sequences and have them looped back to you and then alter them or change them in real time. It's duophonic, which means that it has two completely independent channels, so you can program two sequences at a time. And although it's extremely deep, it's very easy to navigate. Now, Shockmont already has a great video up there that takes a deep dive tutorial and demo of many of its feature sets. What I think will be most useful to you if you're thinking about purchasing it or just kind of want to see what it does is to, rather than go through every single feature and do a deep dive tutorial, I'm going to show you the features that I liked the most. They sent it to me a while ago, so I've had a little bit of time to play with it. When they sent it to me, the official user manual hadn't been released yet. I see that it's up on their website now. All of the learning that I did was all on its own. So it's just very easy to learn. Even as I'm reading the manual right before making this video, I'm discovering that it's even deeper than I thought when I sat down to make it. So there's just a lot of creative possibilities. And I think that you'll get a really good sense of what it can do and how you could use it if I focus on the features that I like the best. I'm going to show you its many generative algorithms. Through that process, I think you'll see how it functions and how easy it is to use. We'll go through a couple of the different processes to change up your sequence, and I'll show you how that can be used in a real-time setting. And then lastly, something that I think is really useful in a module like this is the fact that you can save these sequences, and you can even set up playlists of sequences, almost like a song mode. Okay, let's jump in. So as I said in the intro, there's three main processes that the module does. We're going to focus right now on the generative quality. Honestly, that's where I see this module really shining out. So right here, this is the main screen. This is where you start it up. This is what it looks like. Getting around is pretty simple. All you have to do, you can use this encoder knob. You highlight the main screen, and there are all the other menus. There's also a whole bunch of shortcut keys. Like for instance, if I'm on a different menu and I want to go back to the main screen, I just push that button. But you can hold down the nav button right here and push other buttons like hotkeys to get to particular menus and things like that. So let's go through a few of the generative qualities. So first things first, we're going to have to hook up a clock to our module, and we plug it in right here. As I mentioned in the intro, it's duophonic, so there's two different channels. And if we look at the top, we see a clock and a reset. Those are the two inputs on this side. And then they're identical for each side, for each of the two channels, which you can switch to right here. On the top, you have inputs for CV1 and gate 1, inputs for CV2 for channel 2, and gates for channel 2. And then these, the ACV, those are assignable. Just below those are the outputs. So you have CV1 for channel 1. This right here with an LED is the gate for channel 1, CV for channel 2, and gate for channel 2. So right now I've got a simple drum beat. Let's listen to it. Cool stuff. And so what I'm going to do is I've got just a simple synth voice hooked up below. It's going through a VCO, a filter, and all that stuff. We're going to take our CV out right there. And then to trigger the envelope, we're going to have to plug it into the gate. So right now, if I hit play on my PAMs to send it the clock, we don't hear anything. And that's because there's no sequence in the buffer yet. So over on this side, we have our generative controls, and this is the one to turn it on and off. And then down here, we can do recording internally. So as I said in the intro, it can record external CV, but here we're not going to do that. We're just going to generate our own sequence. So without recording it, you can just do it by pressing this and it'll give a random sequence. So whenever you're pushing that down, it'll just start playing a sequence. And there's a few different algorithms you can choose. And to navigate to those, we just go down to right here. And that's where you get to choose those. I'm going to go through exactly what each of those are. But for right now, we're just going to set it to random one, because we're just generating random sequences. Now, let's take a quick look at the generative controls. So if I push nav and this button, it brought me to the generative menu. And as you can see, this first knob is chance. And that will give the probability that the gate will trigger. So you don't have to have it 100%, but you could lower it down. We'll play around with that in a second. And this is the range. So obviously, I can't remember exactly how many octaves it ranges, but it's quite a few, probably 5 to 10. And I set it actually to make it a little bit more musical. I have it down in kind of the 25% range. So it's about 2 octaves or so. So those are the 2 controls. Now you don't have to be on that menu to operate those controls. I just brought you there so you can see them. So let's remember this is chance and this is the range, and we'll go back to our main menu. Right here we have internal quantization, so you don't even need a quantizer. And it has all kinds of different scales or chords or things like that. So let's go ahead and choose the Dorian mode. So if I hit play now, it'll just go on and keep it'll keep playing a random sequence. Additionally, too, you can press this button which says hold and lock it in place. And it'll just produce an endless random sequence. Totally self-generated, so you can have this be the starting point in your whole system. Now, but what's really cool about it is when we record to the internal buffer one of these random sequences, and then a loop. And so if you go up here, you can see it says 16. It'll be 16 clock ticks long. Let's actually set it to 8 just so you can really hear it looping. So to activate our recording, you're going to want to hold this button down, or again, you can lock it in place by pressing hold and turning it on. So let's go ahead. Now it's locked into place. I don't have to hold anything down. We're going to play an 8-step sequence, and it's going to keep generating until I turn this off. And then at that point, it'll just loop. Now you'll notice too that once you do that, these controls don't do anything. Because right now it is only playing the internal buffer. You can generate a random sequence and then just have it repeat back. On top of that too, you can add in, either in a performative way, you can regenerate on top of it, or even record what you're generating and have it replace just parts of the buffer. So it could either be a performance aspect where you hold it down and have things change a bit and then it goes right back to where it was. Or if you want to just kind of have it mutate over time, you can just press this every now and then and it'll add in new elements that will be repeated. So check this out. See, it went right back to the original sequence. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to add in a couple of different notes. Pretty cool stuff. So that right there is a pretty useful feature. It's almost just like, I don't know, the Turing machine, marbles, those kind of generative modules. And but this one gives you that internal quantization too, which is pretty cool. And you can also, you can change the keys and you can transpose in real time. As I've said, you can record CV sequences into it. So if you did want to play it a sequence from like a sequencer, or even just make up your own from any type of CV generator, you could record that into the buffer and then use this to kind of mangle it and make it different. Let's just go quickly through a couple of the different algorithms. This first one is totally random. The second one, there's a random 2. They described it as it being more musical. I think what's happening here is there's almost like a bell curve around the root note. So it kind of grounds the tonality a little bit. If you're playing totally random and you're playing in C Dorian and you never play a C, it's not going to sound in C Dorian unless there's some other type of, I don't know, bass or drone or something going on. So this could give it a little bit more of that feel. If we go over to our generative thing, all the controls are the same, density and range. I'm going to go ahead and make this one, let's extend it out to 16 steps. So it's just one of those things, though, it's still random, but to me, it gives the flavor of the mode you're playing in a little bit more. I can hear it come through, that Dorian flavor come through a little bit more. So this one's an arpeggio. It's pretty straightforward. If you turn to the generative menu, you can adjust the pattern up, down, up, using this knob and then the range here. So let's go ahead and see if we can get it to be like a straight up and down arpeggio. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and turn it to a chord. So we'll do a major triad. And you can hear repeating notes because I've set the range pretty low and then the length was higher. So that's arpeggio. Path is an interesting algorithm. It gives you, it adds in these ornaments that are typical for like solos and making melodies. And the two controls are how much it jumps around and how much ornamentation it gives. So it gives it kind of a really musical quality. Let's listen to a 16-step sequence you generated using Path. Pretty cool stuff. That's great for making melodies. With knob, you can use the knob to actually generate sequences. So those are the main generative qualities to it. Now also you can regenerate on top of things and change things. So there's lots of different options for you to slice up your sequence and do all kinds of stuff to regenerate and mangle those sequences. But I think you get the idea that there's a lot of sculpting and shaping that you can do to your sequences. Let's head over to processing. You can see right below the generative algorithms, you have your processes. So this is where things like slide or glide, ratcheting, you can change the gate length, you can add some vibrato, add in noise. The slide is my favorite. It works the same way. You can record it here, or you can just push it there for temporary slides. So let's listen to the glide a little bit. I'm going to turn up my envelope. So I just added in some sliding on just that particular note. I'm going to go ahead and erase that. So you push erase and then you push it, and now it takes it away. The other part that I think really makes this module stand apart is the fact that you can save these sequences. So we just created kind of a cool sequence. And if we go over here, and in these menus, there's all kinds of, I mean, you can copy parameters, you can really duplicate your sequence, copy the sequence, you can really dive deep into this module, but it's very straightforward, it's not hard to use. If we go to the memory, so I can save channel 1 under all of these, I mean, there's just, I don't even know how many, probably 99 or something, nope. There's just a ton of different slots for you to save. So let's go. I have a few saved at the beginning. Let's save this one as number 10. I'm going to confirm it. So one thing that I also think really sets this module apart, you can take sequences and put them on a list so it almost operates similar to like a song mode, or you can have it be just a playlist so you can independently move through. So if you wanted to put together a live set or something like that. Shachmat has a great video that goes through all the different things. Let me just give you a taste of what this can do. So I'm going to go back to nav. Let's go ahead and record a few sequences. So I'm going to do this. We'll record something in C Lydian. So that will be our first sequence. So let's go ahead and, oops. Let's go over to our memory, and I'm going to overwrite what I did, and we'll just save that as sequence number 1. Now let's go back, and you know what? Rather than creating a whole new sequence, let's transpose it up. Maybe that can be our sequence number 2. So let's go ahead and go up to memory, and we'll put that one in, save it as number 2. We'll confirm that. Let's go back to our main menu. We'll do another one. Let's have this one go down. And this one will just adjust the parameters a little bit more. Awesome, and we'll go ahead and save that one as sequence number 3. Cool. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and set up a playlist. So I'm going to go up to the top. We'll go over to our playlist page, and you have to hold down the button for a little bit, and then you can go ahead and plug in the sequences that you want. Put them into a playlist so you can repeat them let's go ahead and repeat number 2. We'll go back to number 1. And then we'll play sequence number 3 twice. Cool. And then you press it once and you'll see it's blinking. So now you know that it'll play. And this is, watch how it goes through. So it's pretty cool. You can make up whole songs. You can have sequences on channel 2 move forward differently than sequences on channel 1. So there's just a huge amount of possibilities for things that you can do with it. Okay, there you go. That's Bishop's Miscellany MK2 from Shockmont Modular. I hope that gives you a good idea of what it's capable of doing. If you want to see more, let me know in the comment section. If there's something in particular that you want to see, like something creative with it or whatever, definitely let me know. As I continue to learn this module and play around with it, I'm probably going to be doing more videos with it. So make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.